Hey guys, Erica with the K here. Today's video is going to be a little bit different because you guys know I'm taking it easy this week since I have like burns on my face from the sun because I didn't wear sunblock. So I just wanted to do a video today, kind of funny, on things that I used to be able to afford before we bought our house and things that I can't afford now. And I do just want to put a disclaimer out there that I am incredibly happy with where I am in my life right now, and this is in no way, shape, or form to make you guys feel bad for me in any way. I couldn't be happier. I have a great life. I have a fantastic husband. I have a great dog. I have a great house. I'm very happy. And I'm not saying this to like be obnoxious. I'm just letting you guys know that this video is just to be funny, just to be honest and real with you guys. And if you hear my dog snoring, I'm sorry. That's her snoring. But anyway, I just want to like acknowledge how different my life is today as to how different it was back in the day before we got married, before we decided to buy a house and do improvements on it. So let's get into this video. This video is on things that I used to be able to afford that I could never afford right now. So I'm gonna start off by reading my little notes here because I took notes, of course. So I'm gonna start off with my Tiffany eyeglasses. This was what sparked me to do this video in the first place. I was looking at one of my vlogs, I was editing it, and I saw that I was wearing my Tiffany eyeglasses. And I thought, God, I could not afford that today. Thank God I bought those when I did, like when I was like 5 or 6 years ago I bought them. I was like, thank God I bought them then because I could never afford them today. And I was like, this would be really funny to do a video on things that I used to be able to afford and things that I can't afford. So my Tiffany eyeglasses are the first thing. They were like $300, I think. They were really, really ridiculously expensive. I'm not sure if that was $300 with the exam or without the exam. I don't remember, but I remember spending like $300 to $500 that day. And I was like, this is crazy. I knew it was crazy then, but I had the money. So I was like, yeah, whatever. Okay. All of my shoes, I have a ton of shoes that I literally could not afford to buy today. So some people look at shoes as necessities, as a necessity. Today, that's how I look at shoes. But back in the day when I was like 17 and I was like wearing my little high heels everywhere I went and I thought I was so cool, they were a necessity to my style. Today, they're just literally like I need soles on my shoes so I can get from here to there. So yeah, that is not something I would spend my money on today, but more power to people who do that. I admire your style. I admire what you hold as a priority. I no longer hold it as a priority, but I was there, so I do understand. Everything that I bought in bulk before we decided to do the improvements on our house, before we officially bought our house, I decided to buy a ton of shampoo and conditioner, a ton of razor blades, a ton of soap, just like necessities that I knew we would need in life that we weren't going to want to spend the money on or have the money to spend once we started with the house renovations. So I purchased a bunch of things in bulk, and that is something that I would not be able to do today. I cannot purchase things in bulk anymore as much as I want to, because I have that little bit of a hoarder in me where like I want a lot of everything, and I always say I'm like a glutton. I'm trying not to be a glutton. Like I just want all of it. I wouldn't be able to afford to do that today. So I am glad that I did that because it is huge to not have to buy like shampoo and conditioner every month, not have to buy soap every month, not have to buy razor blades every month. That is a huge deduction from our grocery bill, and that is why we are able to spend such little money every month on groceries, because those toiletries and stuff like that are things that we had once bought in bulk, and I wouldn't be able to do it today. So yeah. There was a time where I strictly wore cachet dresses and Black House, White Market, and Ann Taylor. That's all I wore at one point in my life, in my career. This was when I was working in like a corporate place, and I used to wear like dresses every day or nice dress pants. New York and Company at the time was like bottom for me. Like I was almost too good for that. That is not me today. If I went to Goodwill today and found a pair of New York and Company dress pants, I would be happy. So my life is very different. But yeah, I used to buy cachet dresses. And if you guys don't know cachet, it is a really, really, really ritzy place. Really high end. Dresses are like $200, $300. And that was my whole wardrobe. And White House, Black House, White Market, and Ann Taylor. That was like what I wore. And I didn't wait for sales. Like I was like, no, that's what I want. I'm going to buy it. Like this was right around the time of my Tiffany eyeglasses. Like I was too cool for school at that time. And like looking back, it's like, how much money did I let slip through my hands? It's so crazy. All of my Shop Lululemon inventory, I purchased that on credit cards, and then before we did any improvements on the house or anything like that, I paid off the credit cards in their entirety. So I would not be able to do that today. I do not have the money for that today at all. Guys, I'm being very humble in this video, and then you guys know the truth. I don't have the money for that today. So I am really glad that I bought all of my retail stuff that I did buy. A ton of it is not even listed yet, has not even been seen yet by people, because I just haven't gotten around to it. Things have just been crazy lately. But I do have a ton of like brand new inventory that I haven't even photographed yet or anything. That's probably making some of you guys crazy because you're probably thinking like, what are you doing? Go photograph it and get your money. But yeah, I wouldn't be able to buy new inventory today. No, I wouldn't. Okay, when I first left my corporate job and I opened up my consignment shop in Greenwich, Connecticut, it was like on the border of Portchester, New York. But anyway, I used to do this really obnoxious thing where people would come in to consign their stuff and I would pay them upfront for what I knew I was going to get for it. And some things I didn't sell for what I thought I was going to sell it for, and I'd be at a loss. So that is something I could not do today, and I wouldn't do today. That is such bad business. I thought I was like the Mac Daddy of business. Like, oh yeah, here, let me pay you out. Who did I think I was? That's so obnoxious. I could not do that today, guys. Honestly, like, if something doesn't sell today, I'm like, here, take it back. I couldn't sell this. Here you go. So different from what it was back then when I was like rolling in dough, I guess. I don't really know. I don't know. I don't even know where my head was at. I don't know what I was doing, but I couldn't afford to do that today. My car, I bought my car a few years ago and we paid for it. In the year I paid it off. It was a finance. I could not do that today. Thankfully, both of our cars are paid off in full. Those are two expenses that we wouldn't even be able to afford in our monthly expenses now with the house and the construction and everything like that. So thankfully we did do that the way we did it. Thankfully we did pay those off in full. So if nothing else, we own our cars. So if we ever had to live in our cars, we can. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so that is something I wouldn't be able to do today. Also, like buying a new car for us is like not even on the radar. We always talk about like, oh, I always say like, oh, one day I want an electric car. I want to be able to plug it in. I don't want to pay for gas. But like that is like so far down the road. Yeah, that's something we couldn't do today. My bed, our bed. We actually sleep in a full-size bed. It's us and our dog, Roxy. We sleep in a full-size bed. That bed I bought in my early 20s, and we still sleep in it to today. We wouldn't be able to afford a new bed today. There's no way. We don't have the money for that. So yeah, thankfully that I bought that and that's paid off. Okay, when I first decided to leave my corporate job, open up my consignment shop, I was bawling. And I went to the Apple store and I bought a brand new iPhone. I paid outright, and I bought an iPad. Two things I wouldn't be able to buy brand new today. Two things I wouldn't buy brand new today. I mean, that had to be like close to $1,000 right there. And I got like a new phone number, and I got like, I was just, guys, I'm changed. I'm a changed person. I am not that person at all anymore. Okay, junk food at gas stations. Like, I used to be able to like just buy whatever I want. Now, like, if my husband sees like a wrapper to a candy bar, like one time he saw like a Twix candy bar wrapper, he's like, where did you get the money to buy this? And I was like, oh, which is something I would totally ask him too. It's not like he's crazy. Like, these are the questions we ask each other. Like, neither one of us carry cash on us. We talk about every expense, that everything we buy, we talk about. There is no like shady business going on where like I'm like going out and buying things that I want to buy and he can, or vice versa. Like, no. The Keurig. Joey was living in this house in the upstairs apartment. Had like the old brew style coffee machine, and me and my mom went out shopping that day. This is when I was still bawling. And I bought a Keurig, or maybe she bought it for us. I don't remember. But I couldn't afford that today. That's something I couldn't afford to buy today. So thankfully it's lasted. I really got to knock on wood for this one because we couldn't afford it. But thankfully it's lasted about, we've been together for almost 5 years. So it's lasted for 5 years. So yeah, that's good. Our wedding, we wouldn't be able to afford our wedding if it happened now. If it happens any later, we wouldn't be able to afford it. With construction, it's just crazy. But we did have like our dream wedding. It was really beautiful, and that is something I don't regret spending money on. That was really, really, really a beautiful, beautiful day, a beautiful memories, so meaningful, so important to us. And we're actually coming on our 1 year, so it's kind of ironic that that's making the cut in this video. But yeah, we couldn't afford to do that today. We'd have to go to City Hall and just be done with it, which I'm not against at all. I feel like however you want to express your marriage, that's how you should express your marriage. However you want to express your love for each other, that's up to you. But for us, we did have our dream wedding, and that is something that once in a lifetime. Couldn't afford that again. Going out to bars is something we really can't afford. Sometimes we'll do it just to like keep appearances, or like be supportive of our friends or be involved in their lives, but really, like, we don't go out, we don't do stuff like that. I get the most drunk at my in-laws' house. When we go there for occasions, like, I get bombed. I probably should be really embarrassed, and I am embarrassed the next morning, but then I get over it, and then the next time I go over there I get really drunk again. But we have a blast. I feel like they're just like my own family. They are my family, but I don't feel like I'm at my in-laws' house. I feel like, no, like, these are my peeps. Like, I could drink if I want to drink. Like, it's fine. 2-for-1 margaritas at Chili's. Me and my sister used to go every Wednesday for 2-for-1 margaritas. We used to get really drunk and not realize it until we stood up, and then we'd be like, oh, we're drunk. I couldn't afford it. Even though the 2-for-1, I still couldn't afford that today. And that's pretty much, that I think wraps up the video. I guess the only other thing is that I used to, like, not that I used to be like a big gambler, but I used to not blink an eye at spending like $1,000 gambling at a slot machine. By the way, Sex in the City, that's my game. But nowadays, like, like $200, I'm like, oh, what am I doing? I can't do this anymore. So that has changed too in my life. So I'm not as big of a gambler as I used to be. So I guess a lot of my crappy vices that I used to have, my vices, I don't know, I guess those have changed for the better now. So those are things I don't spend my money on. Those are things I don't do anymore. And that pretty much wraps up this video, guys. So I hope that you guys got some weird glimpse into things that I used to prioritize that I no longer do, or things that I used to spend money on that I no longer do because I can't. So that's pretty much the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you guys. I hope I didn't scare anybody away. I hope I see you guys in my next video. All right, bye.